Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Salmon17. I wanted to do a video. I apologize if I hadn't uploaded for a while again because I've been trying to, mod my PS Vita and it's been crazy. I jailbroken the console, I put a new memory card, and surprisingly, 128 gigabytes is kind of enough for a lot of games, honestly, but that depends if I run out of memory or not. But I'm glad that these older systems doesn't feel like it will cost you an arm and a leg to actually download some certain games. I actually tried to download some homebrew games, not official Vita ports for games like Dead Space Mobile or Sonic Mania or anything like that, or even Tomb Raider, which is basically like mobile ports of the games, including San Andreas and Chinatown Wars. But unfortunately, those games do not fucking work on my PS Vita. I might be doing something wrong, or I need to upload to some kind of another a piece of thing for the Vita to actually make those games work. I do not know, but overall that's just a nitpicking. But overall I'm having fun. It's like the ultimate console. I can play PS Vita games, I can play Game Boy Advanced games, I could play PSP games, and even PS1 games. And one of the cool features about the PS1 games, if you download them on the Vita, especially if you're playing on the Adrenaline site, you can actually set, you can go to the options menu and actually set R2 and L2 buttons on the touch screen, which is also L3 and R3 buttons as well, which is really cool because for those who don't know, Vita doesn't have R2 and L2 buttons. They do have them on at the back of the console, but I don't think that really counts. But overall, I'm just having fun. A few games, PS Vita games, unfortunately I did not actually get because of some issues. For example, the Ninja Gaiden Sigma Plus, the first Ninja Gaiden game. For some reason, the download file doesn't exist for the game, so I could not download it. And Ratchet & Clank Collection, even though it's cool to play the original Ratchet & Clank games on the original Ratchet & Clank trilogy, the PS2 trilogy on the Vita, the problem was when I played the first game, for some reason it had really very glitchy audio files. If you guys actually played the Ratchet & Clank games, you will know that once you in certain planets you enter a different area, the music suddenly changes. But in the Vita version, I don't know if it's because it's a Vita port, but not a PS3 port. I haven't checked if PS3 has this issue. I don't think it does. The PS3 collection, but. For some reason, the music doesn't change. It still plays the same song you hear when you enter the planet. But sometimes even when you enter or exit the area, when it tries to change the music, suddenly the music just stops and no music is playing whatsoever. So I'm not sure if it's because the Vita port is kind of bad for the Ratchet & Clank. It is still playable really well, but. Still, it kind of sucks that it is so bad to actually, use the Vita or something like that. Yeah, play it on the Vita. But overall, I downloaded a bunch of PS Vita games: Uncharted, Killzone Mercenary, yada yada, and a bunch of PSP games as well. But enough about PS Vita. The reason why I'm talking about gaming nowadays is because, for those who probably don't know, modern Western gaming or gaming in general nowadays hasn't been, how should I put this, not that great. I'm probably gonna get scolded by Sweet Baby Inc., or this video is gonna get removed by a bunch of babies for telling the truth, but the gamers are being attacked and accused by Western gaming developers, and that's not really good, especially for a business standpoint, because if you're the fact that they are pushing away gamers, the people who actually buy games and stuff like that, the people you try to appeal to, it says a lot about how bad modern gaming industry has become, to the point I'm buying older consoles, like for example the PS Vita or the PSP, and still have a functional PS2 and PS3. I'm surprised my PS2 is still functional. It is like, my PS2 is like, now it's that console is 20 years old now, and that is crazy. It still makes like a weird noise every time when I play a game, especially when I play GTA San Andreas. It's like the console sounds like it's in constant agony. It's like, oh my god, why this game is huge and stuff like that. It's like it's struggling, and the disc reader, it sounds like it's in constant agony, and I feel like I'm afraid that it will scratch the disc. But every time I take out the disc from the console, it is scratch free. So I don't know what it is. Like, maybe he has a hard time like downloading stuff for the other. Honestly, I'm just blabbing on about older consoles, but I'm still having fun playing older consoles. Like, I still love playing Need for Speed Most Wanted. I still love playing Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Tag Force. What else? Max Payne, GTA San Andreas, other PlayStation 3 games, for example. Infamous series, I really love. I actually 100% completed all those games. I got platinum trophies for Infamous 1 and 2, and even went out of my way to 100% complete the Festival of Blood as well. What else? Batman Arkham games. Gran Turismo 6 is also fun. Dirt 2 is fun. And many other games I actually played on the older consoles and had more fun with compared to modern consoles. Like, the only modern gaming console I own is Nintendo Switch. And even though Nintendo is one of the few companies that doesn't attack its consumer base, it's still like, I feel like Nintendo still has some really stupid business practices. For example, like, they're still selling games like Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey for 60 or 70 euros or dollars. So it depends what region or country you live in. And that is stupidly expensive, especially for games for those two games or even older Nintendo titles that came out for Nintendo Switch for like 8 or 7 years ago or something like that. And it is really dumb for Nintendo to keep these prices up for their titles, because it will push people more. It will kind of push more people away from your business practices and from your consoles and not buying them. And yeah, but we're gonna keep on talking about Western entertainment and them attacking Western gaming. Oh my god, I can't speak, man. But anyways, what I was talking about. Oh yeah, Western gaming developers attacking gamers and basically their consumer base. And that is really bad, because they're basically... The reasoning for that is because people are calling out a lot of modern Western games, putting agendas in their games. Many games have been infected by the, the WOKA virus, and nowadays it's just basically like, if you don't like this game, then you're a bigot or whatever. And I'm like, and that is why many people, especially who are into gaming in the old days, are calling you out. I remember when I bought the PSP, I actually met this really cool girl in Latvia, which is really surprising and rare for me, because I'm a huge fan of older games. That's why I'm still playing like PS2, PS1, PS3, PSP games, and also some older Nintendo titles like the old Pokemon games from the Game Boy Advance. And And the reason, and the cool thing was when I was talking about the older games, I was like talking about. I met this awesome girl. She said that it's cool to finally meet somebody who's into older gaming as I am, and I told her that. I'm not a fan how modern games are being handled. I'm telling her like, oh, too many modern games are feeling like walking simulators, cinematic experiences, and I was like, dude, I just want to have fun and shoot stuff. And she actually agreed with me. And you know how bad things have gone with the modern gaming industry. When I'm going out buying older games more than I buy newer games. The only, like I said, the only new console I own. Only modern console I own is the Nintendo Switch. And I barely play that console because, for one thing, as a handheld, it's kind of way too huge. Like, of course, I could buy the Nintendo Switch Lite, but that would be costing like extra money. And Nintendo Switch Lites are not even that cheap as well. Like, I bought a functional and a used PS Vita in Germany for only 135 euros. Well, if I went out of my way to buy something like I don't know, like Nintendo Switch Lite, it will cost me double the money that I bought, especially if it's brand new. And I'm not happy with the PS Vita, guys. I'm happy. I'm still saving it up for maybe this month. I will actually try to get a new screensaver and a Vita, like what was it called? A Vita case or PS Vita case, I don't know, like a PS Vita wallet or something like that, like similar to my PSP, where I bought the console and it actually came with the PSP, you know, case. I don't know. Can you guys see it? My camera is not focusing. Boy, I better do this before this I better continue talking about this fast before it gets dark outside. The weather in Latvia hasn't like, it's slowly coming in with the warmness, but it still hasn't like fully set. I think we're gonna get like a sunny day or warm weather at very early May or somewhere in the middle of May or late May. I don't know, because the weather in Latvia is very confusing. But gaming industry nowadays has just gotten so bad that more and more people are gearing more towards older entertainment than they are with a lot of those AAA Western themed games. Because a lot of, probably you guys heard about this, but a lot of companies, including one of my favorite game developers, Insomniac Games, have been kind of trying to defend a very babyish, company, gaming developers, I hardly can call them developers. And you probably know about the game called Suicide Squad that recently came out and was published by Rocksteady. Yep, Rocksteady. You guys know the guys who made the Batman Arkham games? They made that awful game, and we live in a time where way too many like well-known and very liked Western developers are getting basically just screwed over by new management, by people who don't even care about gaming. They just want to spread their own twisted agendas or whatnot, and it's been rough. And every time people try to call out these games or try to criticize them, then of course certain people who defend these companies, who defend these like modern games, are basically like, no, you don't understand, you're this internet-phobe and blah blah blah, you're not a real gamer. And it's like, this is how things are gotten bad with. not just gaming, but with Western entertainment in general. And I know I'm beating a dead horse at this point. Every time I'm talking about this, like every time I'm just basically talking about the same shit. But it's kind of hard not to talk about the same shit because we keep getting the same shit over and over again from the Western. From the West, basically, like the Western entertainment industry, and people more and more are growing tired of it. But the problem is these like game developers or these Western game developers or Western movie makers or whatever, Hollywood or whatever, Disney, they do not listen to people who actually know what they're talking about and just basically like, we're gonna block this channel, we're gonna attack this person, we're gonna do this and that because we're babies and we cannot handle criticism. Of course, I have been criticized for many things, but it's for like, I don't know, man. It's like I've been criticized for talking smack about modern cartoons or whatever, and people giving me lip for saying, "Oh, I don't like the Owl House," or I have issues with Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or etc. and whatever. And with gaming, it's the same thing. Like I'm really scared to say anything negative about these modern games. Even Spider-Man 2, Insomniac Spider-Man 2 is basically falling down the rabbit hole of the agenda-driven storytelling because we can't have good games anymore. We can't have like Spider-Man pile driving crooked in the pavement or something like that. Sorry, I'm drinking water. My mouth gets dry really fast. Oh my god. I'm also checking if my hair is a mess, but every time I look, it's just a New York thing on the wall. Then almost makes it look like my hair is up. Oh my god. I hope you guys don't mind it. I'm just fucking tired sometimes. Like sometimes getting sleep is kind of rough for me. But anyways, gaming industry has become really bad nowadays. It's just like, and the problem is that people still defend these companies because they're just gonna fix themselves. Oh, we're just gonna blindly consume product and whatever. Like with gaming as well, like, it's hard for people to criticize them without casuals or blind consumers just basically going after you and telling you you're stupid, you're an idiot and whatnot. And it's so fucking stupid. Like, I love gaming. Gaming, including animation, is what made me what I am today. But with the way I'm looking at how things are nowadays, I'm not just happy about this. Like, I'm not too happy about the state that we're in, where we go as far as attacking people for calling out the bullshit that these Western developers or Western entertainment industry in general tries to pull. Even someone like Bob Iger is pulling bullshit after bullshit and trying to tell lies, saying, "Oh, we're not making movies because of agendas. We are making movies to entertain people." And I'm like, bullshit, bullshit. I'm sorry. Oh my god, like, like that is so dumb. Like we live in a time where it's like more bad and crazy people are taking over the world than actual good, genuine, hardworking people do. Nowadays, it's more like about, we need to push more agendas, we need this and that. And if you make something that is actually like fun, entertaining, doesn't follow any logic or isn't afraid to offend anyone or anything like that, and it's like, you are racist, you are a bigot, you are this and that, and it's like, it is so dumb. Like, that is so dumb. And it's gotten so bad to the point that even that the only places that actually do actual entertainment are either Japan or the indie developers or something like that. And that is really bad because once Western entertainment was considered as a respectable medium, especially when the 80s and 90s rolled, and now it's just like, what the hell happened, man? Like, what the hell happened, like, to things I love, things I used to grow up with? And for me, it genuinely makes me upset that we get really bad or mediocre stuff rather than actual good stuff that actually feels like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put my money on it and buy it. Nowadays, it's just like, it is so bad. This is the world we live in nowadays. And of course, like I said, if you're calling out these people or criticizing their work, they're gonna be like, oh, you're this and that. And this is always their only argument. Like, they always try to silence people who try to speak out the truth, but they always praise the ones who basically just like, oh my god, I'm this, you're a god or goddess, make more LGBTQ stupid race, black woman girl boss stuff. And I'm like, god damn it, like, this is what I hate about this, like, even criticism. Like, for me, it's I stopped talking about animation because of the BS that is the modern Western entertainment, and how there's people out there who basically defend this stuff. Like I said, I've been criticized a lot for calling out like modern animated shows. Like, for example, I was not a fan of, like, I criticized the Owl House and how I don't like how people are obsessing over the shipping of the Lumini stuff, and another thing I was being called out about Rise of the Ninja Turtles, and how I ranted about how I was not a fan of how they basically did 180 with a character called Cassandra Jones, and then they basically pull a BS in the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, where Casey Jones actually exists, but he's not in the present time, but he's from the future, and it kind of doesn't make any sense since April O'Neil exists in that timeline. So why not Casey Jones? Oh wait, because we need to, like, maybe we have to make, like, Cassandra Jones and April O'Neil lesbians. Maybe that's why. And it is really annoying because people always people attack me, still attack me for that video. I might actually do a video talking about the actual reason why I'm not a huge fan of Teenage Ninja Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That is not about Cassandra Jones, but about other things. I was not a big fan of the show in general, basically. But people attacked me for. The movie just came out, like, 2 years later when I did the video. Like, I did that video, like, 2 years later. And after 2 years later, the movie came out, and people just giving me lip and disliking the video, saying, oh, it's just a dummy dum-dum who says stupid stuff because Casey Jones actually exists. You never watched the movie and stuff like that. And one of my biggest problems with these stupid activists is that they don't read or listen to people. They basically just, like, they have, like, 0 brain cells left in their cranium, and it's like they see or hear something. Like, I remember when I was still on Twitter, somebody picked up an old video of mine, put it on YouTube or something like that, or on Twitter, and that person purposefully edited that video out just to make me look bad in front of people. This is how bad we have gotten to the point where people just, like, take somebody else's video, editing it, and then basically call you a bad person because they don't want to listen or agree with your opinions or think about what you're saying and think like, maybe he's right, maybe we are stupid. And this is one of my biggest problems, because a lot of these like activists or whatever are still defending these people. And another problem also with the YouTubers as well, like the famous ones like Jacksepticeye or Markiplier. I'm not sure Markiplier is on this, but I'm not saying these. I'm not saying that these two are as bad as. I'm not saying they're bad people. I'm not saying that. They become famous. I'm not trying to call them out. But for example, like every time they support these games or whatever, and saying, "Oh, this is the best game ever," it's always about modern games, and they always try to defend these games and saying, "Oh my god, this is the best game of the year. This is the best thing ever." And for example, I'm not a huge fan of the new God of War games, and I'm not a huge fan of Spider-Man 2, the Marvel Spider-Man 2. I'm not talking about the PS2 version. I still love that game, but I'm talking about Spider-Man 2 that just came out for, PC or whatever, and also that was involved by Sweet Baby Inc. I'm talking about that game, and the YouTubers keep calling those games 10 out of 10s. They're the bestest thing ever than sliced bread, and because of that popularity, developers are thinking, "Oh, this famous person talked about good things about our game, said nothing bad. We're gonna continue making more of that stuff." Like, one of my biggest problems with modern God of War games, me personally, I'm not judging for those who maybe like the game, but for me, it barely feels like a God of War game. Like, the whole third-person camera angle, the whole slow-walking cinematic section things, and climbing on walls without any consequences or whatever. I don't consider that fun. I don't really consider that fun. The older God of War games, what I still love about those older games is the fact that you can actually go balls to the wall, go completely nuts, killing these mythical beings like Minotaurs and Medusas and whatnot, and the whole brutality thing and the quick time event stuff, and maybe not quick time event stuff, but the whole aspect of Kratos just like brutally murdering like these crazy godlike creatures and whatnot. That's the fun aspect of the God of War games, because of the whole scale thing. You battling these like unstoppable beings, and it's like, dude, that is crazy. And at one point when I was going to the therapist, I was like trying to speedrun God of War 2, and that is crazy. But I still love the older God of War games because they're fun games. There's no like super slow walking sections that last like 15-30 minutes without anything happening. Then like for 10 minutes there's a combat sequence, and then afterwards nothing else happens. Like, let me run somewhere, let me like do crazy combos and stuff like that. That's what made the God of War games fun. That's what made hack and slash games in general fun. Doing these crazy combos, being like this ultimate badass, and just killing stuff. Like, that's what made these hack and slash games so fun. Like, that's why I enjoyed playing. I still need to continue playing that game, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Like, I played the demo so many times, and it's basically a demo of the second level. You start in the actual game, basically, and the final boss is basically like this mechanical dog or whatever that has like sentience on it or something. But it's still like, it's nonsensical, but it is fun. It is basically just like go nuts, kill a bunch of people with a sword, and just move on to another level. And nowadays we barely get these kind of games, because nowadays it's just like yeah, the new God of War games have combat, but it's not the same. But it doesn't feel the same as how it did with the older God of War titles. Like the whole the whole brutality thing, doing these crazy combos, pulling magical stuff, like that is fun. Like when I entered a certain area in God of War 2, I was like, I had full magic health, my Blades of Chaos are fully upgraded, I even have the whole full rage mode art fully activated, and just like I'm doing these like crazy combos everywhere, just spamming like these spamming the rage art, spamming the magic stuff, that because I had a full bar, and I'm just like I'm going nuts. I'm doing like these 200 crazy combos, and the area's done, and I move on, and that is cool. Like that feels satisfying, honestly. Like it actually can. Of course, I'm playing the game on normal difficulty again, because playing God of War games on hard difficulty is kind of a pain. But it's not like it's unfair. They still have checkpoints and whatnot. But it's still fun, man. Like, but with the newer God of War games, it doesn't feel the same. Like nowadays, it's just like riding a boat, slowly walking somewhere. Listen to some dialogue, climb through walls slowly, and it's like 70% of the game is basically just like more walking and exposition and unskippable cutscenes, and less about like the combat. Like the combat is just like it feels like non-existent, honestly. And when you do combat in the game, it doesn't feel as satisfying as doing like these crazy 200 combos in the old God of War games. Like, I'm just ranting about a God of War, but this is the problem with modern games. Like, modern games don't feel challenging. They feel like it feels more like they're made for people who basically don't have functional fingers, and basically just like, oh, we want an easy mode in the Dark Souls games. We want the games be more cinematic, less about the actual gameplay, more about more cutscenes, more unskippable cutscenes, more slowly walking sections, and that's about it. Like, that's what a lot of modern games are nowadays. It's just like they feel more like interactive movies than they feel like video games. Like, even developer like let me check. Where is it? There we go. Remedy. The Remedy Entertainment, who made the original Max Payne games. I don't know if they worked on Max Payne 3. I don't know. I do know they worked on Max Payne 1 and 2, but they also did another game, a survival horror game on the Xbox 360 called Alan Wake. Well, it wasn't like the best game. Some people say it's not the best horror game ever, but to me, it still felt like a video game. You could still run around. It has a unique mechanic where you shine a flashlight against the opponent, and then and then when the dark substance disappears, or the shield, whatever, disappears from their bodies, you can just shoot them and then move on. And Alan Wake 2 has this premise, but Alan Wake 2, that game has, it feels like a huge disappointment for a lot of Alan Wake fans. Alan Wake, man. Alan Wake, a lot of people were really, really looking forward to a sequel, but now that it came out, it doesn't feel as satisfying as the original game. Now, some people like Alan Wake, some people don't, but I feel like Alan Wake 1, and it's DLC, Undead Nightmare or whatever, it still felt like you're playing a goddamn game. There's still lots of enemies, you need to be careful, you need to manage your resources like survival horror games do, right? But in Alan Wake 2, there's been even somebody like G-Man Lives, who criticized about the fact that somebody made a video about Grand Theft Auto 4, where he goes into a hospital and shoots random civilians, and he says, "Oh, shooting police is fine, but doing this to random civilians, nah, man." I mean, dude, it is a Grand Theft Auto game. Killing people, killing pedestrians or whatnot, is basically the whole fun aspect of Grand Theft Auto. Like I don't know I don't know if he was trolling or not, but I hope he does, because like he literally plays games like Doom 2016 or Doom Eternal, where you basically kill demons whatnot in a brutal fashion, but then rolls up a clip of GTA 4, a guy playing the game and shooting pedestrians inside a hospital, and I'm like, oh my god, this video is gonna be, oh my god, I was hoping this video will not be long, but unfortunately it is. I apologize. But G-Man Lives talked about Alan Wake 2, and the video got removed, and he had to re-upload it. And people complain about how he said that game feels like a walking simulator than an actual game, and he said something about like there's very low enemy count in the Alan Wake 2. Like there's barely any enemies or bosses in the game, and that is really bad. Like, imagine playing a game like Silent Hill, for example, or Resident Evil, and then nothing happens for like 20-30 minutes, and then afterwards you see a bunch of zombies and whatnot, shoot them, and then after next 20-30 minutes nothing happens, and repeat the process. That does not sound fun. Like, even games like the original Dead Space game, like, the first few minutes, like, nothing happens. Unfortunately, the cutscenes cannot be skipped because they're not cutscenes, they're in-game cutscenes. But after that, you basically, after running away from the necromorphs without the guns or anything like that, you basically already start the game, you find a plasma cutter, and then try to survive the horrors of the USG Ishimura. That's it. You don't... Imagine how much more fun would be if you played as Isaac Clarke, walking man that has nothing to do with the necromorphs. Like, necromorphs are just basically afterthought, and you basically just do random puzzles and walking around the ship like it's like hippity hoppity, everything is sunshine and rainbows. Like, it's not fun. Like, games nowadays are just not fun, and the fact that game developers modern Western game developers are attacking gamers for calling them out, you guys are not gonna get any business practices from it. And another issue I have in modern gaming, especially is the digital stuff. Nowadays everything is just like, the digital is the future, we don't need physical media. And it hasn't gotten bad to the point. In my country, Latvia, they don't sell any DVDs or Blu-rays for movies or TV shows. None whatsoever. Why? Because Netflix, because Hulu, because Amazon Prime, because Disney Plus. We don't need physical media because you're stupid if you think physical media is good enough. Yeah, I'm having physical media and I don't have to worry about losing everything I try to save up on my digital stuff without worrying about losing stuff. I have a physical disc, I own it. I own the movie, I own the game, that's it. I can play it whenever, however I want. And people say digital media is the future. No, it's not. Honestly, I also used Netflix, but that was years ago. And I stopped using it afterwards. Because paying every month for 10 euros for physical, like digital, like for the subscription for Netflix, it's gonna kill my wallet. And I'm still trying to find a job and earn extra money, because even though because of me being like mentally and physically ill, being like, I don't know, being a disabled person, I have a disabled card or whatnot, and because of that, my country every month pays me money, so I could have an easier way to buy stuff and also to survive in this harsh world. But it's not enough. Like, I have to wait every month for like 30 days or something like that to get that money, for the country to pay me money, so my money can grow. So because of that, I need to find a job so I could actually earn more money, and I can have easier time to live better. But since I live in a small country, it's not that easy, especially me being disabled, because disabled people in Latvia are not looked very fondly, and that is unfortunate. But with the whole digital stuff, I rather buy physical media rather than than wasting my time on digital stuff. Unless it's Pirate's Life is for me, then all is fair in the game. But overall, if I want to do stuff I really love, I rather buy physical media and buy like older or original hardware or whatnot to enjoy that stuff. So yeah, that's about it. Sorry if I'm wasting you guys' time. This video is very long. I apologize, but I felt like I want to talk about this. I know a lot of people wanted me to talk about JetX. Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh boy. Good thing there's water next to me. But anyways, a lot of people wanted me to do a JetX video, but I'm actually really scared about doing it because I need to do a lot of editing, and also I'm afraid to say something wrong or something that people might get upset about. So I'm trying to think if I should talk about JetX. Maybe I could change it to talking about Cartoon Network, and maybe that will satisfy people because I have more fun memories with classic Cartoon Network than I do with stuff like Jetix or Nickelodeon. So maybe that will do you guys good. But overall, I'm gonna stop it right here because this video is long and as long as it is. But yeah, what do you guys think about the modern Western gaming industry or Western entertainment in general? The situation that we're in. Do you agree with me or not? We shall see, because this video is probably gonna get disliked, gonna get tons of dislikes, or it's gonna get removed because YouTube is saying YouTube is just basically but YouTube is probably defending Sweet Baby Inc. as well on these Western game developers. But what do you guys think of this situation? Let me know in the comments. And yeah, I'm gonna stop it right here. And this is Salmon17 signing off.